here this evening not as Republicans or Democrats, not as Christians, Muslims, or Jews. We're here as Americans to speak with one voice, to say, stop Iran now, reject this deal, and let's speak loud enough that they hear us in Washington right now. You know, throughout the negotiations, we heard the Obama administration and Obama say, no deal is better than a bad deal. Well, this isn't a bad deal. This is a god-awful deal. It must be rejected. Congress must do its job and stand up for the American people, stand up for our safety, and say no to this Iranian deal. You know, think for a minute about what Iran gets. Iran gets a pathway to nuclear weapons. Iran gets a pathway to intercontinental missiles. Iran gets relief from global weapons sanctions. Iran gets hundreds of billions of dollars in economic relief. Iran gets to continue as the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. What does America get? We get more parades and chants of death to America. What does Israel get? More parades and chants of death to Israel. What does the world get? More terror at the hands of the #1 sponsor of state terror. We don't even get our 4 hostages back. We get a piece of paper from a regime that has never honored its word since it was created. Reject this deal, protect America, protect Israel, and protect the world from terror. You know, I was governor of this great state on September 11th. And I learned a lesson on that date that I thought none of us would ever forget. I saw that morning thousands of New Yorkers not running from the towers, but running to that scene. Firefighters, police officers, EMTs, civilians from all walks of life running to help their fellow citizen, their fellow American. We learned that morning that Islamic terror cannot be ignored because it seems to be an ocean away and across the globe. We learned that morning that Islamic terror, wherever it is a threat to us right here in New York and right here in America. Too many have forgotten that lesson. I will never forget that lesson. We must stop Iran from ever having a nuclear weapon. We must stop ISIS from planning and organizing attacks here. We must stand up for our safety and the safety of our allies, like Israel. And let me say a word about Hillary Clinton. She has embraced this agreement. She was senator here in New York on September 11th. She met with the families of those 343 firefighters who died. She saw the pain and the anguish and the suffering. She saw the lesson of not dealing with radical Islam before they can attack us here. Hillary, let me tell you one thing. America does not need, as our next president, another appeaser-in-chief. We need a commander-in-chief who will stand up and say Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. You know, this administration acknowledged that of those hundreds of billions in economic relief, their military will get some of it. We know it's more than some. They will have tens of billions more to carry out their terror. And what did their chief spokesperson say? Yes, we know they will continue their bad behavior. Bad behavior. Well, bad behavior is dropping a paper on the ground or crossing a street illegally. Overthrowing the Yemen government and killing thousands of civilians is not bad behavior, it's terror. Being complicit in the death of over 1,000 American soldiers in Iraq is not bad behavior, it is a crime against America. Helping Hezbollah and Hamas to launch rockets against Israeli civilians is not bad behavior. It is a war crime. Helping Assad use chemical weapons to kill his own citizens is not bad behavior. It is a crime against humanity. This administration is giving hundreds of billions, knowing some of it will go to additional crimes against humanity. How bad is that? Neville Chamberlain would not sign this paper. Congress must reject it. We must stand together and say, stop Iran now, no to this deal. And by the way, when Congress votes down this deal, take a look at what this president did just this week in rushing the deal to the UN Security Council on Monday. Barack Obama signed the law giving Congress 60 days to reject this deal. Then within 6 days, he binds the United States to allow the Security Council resolutions against Iran to be dissolved. To me, that may well constitute a violation of his oath of office, and Congress should take a look at that as they reject this deal. I want to thank all of you who are here this evening standing up for our safety and our security and that of our friends like Israel. I want to thank all of you who have ever put on the uniform of our country or the country of any of our allies, risking your lives to defend our freedom. I want to say one word to this administration, which has now decided that in the face of Islamic terror in Chattanooga, our Marine recruiters should take off their uniforms so they can be safe in America. Do not bow down to Islamic terror anywhere, let alone in the United States of America. Don't have our Marines take off their uniforms, have them put on their guns, and we will be a far safer country. This deal poses an enormous threat to our safety and security here in New York. This deal poses an existential threat to the existence of the State of Israel. This deal guarantees an arms race in the Middle East. This deal guarantees more world terror and a less secure world. This is a bad deal. Republicans, Democrats, remember first you're Americans, say no, stop Iran now. We will be safer, the world will be safer, and our children will have a better future. Thank you. God bless you, and continue the fight. Thank you.